This is the Papered Chef here. In today's Brother ScanNCut tips and tricks tutorial, I'm going to show you what to do when you get a new mat, new blade holder for your SDX 125. I'm going to show you the first things I do with a new mat, how to condition it a little bit so that your paper doesn't stick to the point where you ruin your mat and have to wash your mat in the sink. I want to show you when you know it's time to get a new mat, and some other tips and tricks for cleaning your machine, although I have other videos on cleaning your machine. All right, so let's get started. I'm going to say hi as you come in because this is a more casual video. This isn't like a full-on tutorial. So I'm going to take this mat out of the bag and trying not to make the plastic sound too crazy, right? That sound. Oh, we got a nice group joining us already. Hello, Patty. Hello, Yvonne. Yvonne, I think you always try to be first, don't you? Patty beat you today. Hi, Deborah. From New South Wales, Australia. Cool. Crafty with love. Sorry, I got my reading glasses on, but it's hard to see. Crafty with love. Hi, Donna Jo. Hi, Janet. Hi, Katie from Washington. Hello, Penny. Hello, Ann. Hello, Roxanne. Hello, Polly. All right, here's when you know you need a new mat. This one's not going to be too hard. Okay, you probably don't have to let your mat get to the point where my mat is, but you know you need a new mat when your mat, I'm going to just show you. I have a couple mats here from different machines. So I just want to make sure I have the right. This is the other kind of machine. So let me find the one that I'm using right now. By the way, just in case you wanted to know though, but while I have these out because I grabbed my stack of mats, this is a partial stack of mats. I actually have about 50 mats. I'm not even kidding you. I think I've only thrown out one or two ever, and that's because I literally cut through them to the point where I come out. So when you have an SDX mat, it looks like this. There's a diamond in it, right? It only loads in one direction. There's your arrow. So you know if you get say you get another mat and it won't load, the very first thing you want to check is that you have the right kind of mat for your machine. So I'm going to use the SDX right now. An SDX model of machine needs this diamond at the bottom. Let's get rid of this instruction sheet here. Okay, so it needs the diamond at the bottom. But if you have a CM model, it will have arrows in both directions. It loads in both directions. It's also a different size. So let me see if I can't move my camera a bit. Let me see if, I don't know. It's going to be hard to change the angle, but let's try it anyway. There you go. I could do this. So you're going to get a little bit of a glare. But see this mat, the CM mats are not as big. See how this is, look, I'm at the top right now. I'm at the top. There's my finger. I hope you can see my finger. Look, see how much shorter the CM mats are than the SDX mats? So you know you have the wrong, mat if you have a mat that loads in both ways. So, okay, so anyway, these aren't that bad. My CM mats weren't to the point of having to get new ones. Okay, because they still loaded. Here's a few of them. I'm just gonna put them, even this one with glitter all over it. It's still loaded and it's still sticky. So listen to the sound. Okay, listen to this. Okay, that's when you know you don't need a new mat because it's still sticky. If you get that sound, and I've done other videos on how to restick it. However, when it gets to the point like this, these are my SDX mats. I mean, ridiculous, right? I'm in the middle of developing a course. I couldn't even cut out the samples for my course. That's how bad it got. And that's why I think I've told you on the past several videos that my machine has been on strike. I couldn't even cut anything. I mean, it was just ridiculous. It wouldn't cut, nothing would stick. It wouldn't load, and I fought it and fought it. But this is how many times I've used the mat. Now, let me show you something else you might not know about mats. That when the ScanNCut is doing its little dance at the beginning, when the little blade holder goes back and forth and you hear that little noise that goes nee, nee, it's testing the depth of your paper, and it's testing that against the depth of your mat. So on the top of your mat, every time you run it, there's a cut, okay? There's an actual cut into your mat. Look how many cuts have been in my mat. I mean, this mat has been used literally. I'm going to bring that right up to the camera. Look at this. Thousands of times. Thousands of times. It's cut into my mat. Here, I even cut into my mat the one time. That was when my mat slipped. So not only, I mean, you can re-stick your mat, and I've done that many, many times. It'll stay sticky. But now it's lost its stick. Even after washing it many times, it doesn't stick here. There's no noise, hardly any sticky noise. It's cut to the point of, I mean, I'm still not throwing it out. You're probably going to even laugh that I'm still not throwing this out. But I even had to cut a little nick in it to try to get it to load better. But it's still like okay for certain things, but not for when I really need stability in cutting stamped images and cutting some score lines. Like I was trying to make these boxes for my class that I'm doing, and the machine was wobbling all over the place. So this is when you know you need a new mat, when they look like this. Well, I mean, hopefully they don't get to this point. And it's just one of the things. It's the principle of the thing. You might be saying, why don't you just buy new mats? It's the principle, because like literally they're going to lose their stickiness after. I'm going to show you something today, and then by the end of today, I'm going to start cutting, and this will have lost its stickiness. This mat will have lost its stickiness. I'm going to have to re-stick it with two-way glue. I have other videos on that. So you might be saying like, why don't you just buy new mats? It's the principle. I shouldn't have to buy a new mat every single day that I use the machine. I would literally, if I just went with how sticky the mat was, literally every single day I would have to buy a new mat. And I don't want to do that for the principle of it, right? I obviously don't represent brother, right? I love the machine, love and hate it, but right. I don't really hate it. I love it, but you know what I'm saying. All right. I hope you know what I'm saying. So I took off the protective covering, and you should put this back on when you're done to keep the, to keep the dust off of it. But I just peeled it off. Now listen to the sound. I'm going to put this down on the floor so it doesn't shake. Now, this is a brand new mat. Listen to the sound of a brand new mat. Yes, Amazon is I buy them on Amazon. I also buy them from Brother Yvonne. I buy them right from Brother Mall. And I get good deals on Brother. Sometimes they send me coupons, so you can get on their mailing list. And so I'll link to this mat, but later. But anyway, you can support my channel by using my links. I'm an Amazon affiliate, just to disclosure. But I don't have any links there yet because I just got so excited and wanted to do a video right away. Okay, we got a brand new mat. And now I'm gonna show you what to do. Now I'm gonna first let you listen to the sound of this mat. Listen to the sound. Okay, that is the sound of a sticky mat. You're never going to hear that sound again after day one. If you cut, not even if you don't have to cut a lot to not hear that sound. It doesn't matter. I'm getting it a t-shirt, okay? T-shirt for my special occasion here. Anyway, because it'll lose it's only sticky for, like I said, like one day. I don't know why Brother can't figure out what the Cricut does and use whatever. I mean, I'm not saying to copy the Cricut's formula, but I can literally take one of my Cricut mats and use it 300 times and never have to re-stick it or do anything to it. And this one, it just doesn't, I don't know why. The surface of these are different. Anyway, here's my t-shirt. Yes, I'm putting a t-shirt right on my mat. I got this in London when I was stuck there on a long layover one time. And and it kind of has to do with what I say all the time in my videos. Mind the gap. On the tube, you have to mind the gap so you don't fall in there, right? And fall onto the track, onto the gap between when you're stepping onto the train. Well, when you cut stamped images, I'm always saying that. Mind the gap, or just make sure you don't have any gaps, because the ScanNCut needs to have no gaps. So I'm putting lint on my mat because I don't want it to be too sticky. Okay, so see what I'm doing with my t-shirt. Do it a couple times. Any clothes, you would actually do this to clothes you're wearing. I just got out a t-shirt. So anyway, when you learn my pencil trick, it's on my videos, right? My pencil trick. My pencil trick is about not having little gaps between, anything that you're trying to cut. All right, I got enough lint on there that I won't ruin my paper. If I don't do this, I'm literally going to rip my paper. And I'm going to start out with designer series paper. And I'm not going to use the basic white paper. So like what I'm not going to use is my cardstock or basic white. Here's some cardstock I grabbed out just to show you. We could use this later. It may be after a couple cuts, but I'm not going to start out with that cardstock. I'm going to start out with designer series paper. I'll even give you a little sneak peek of some new paper. So now let's show you how much lint is on there, so you can get an idea how much lint to put on your mat. This is me saying this, not Brother. Again, I do not represent Brother, so don't go telling me, oh, I did it and now my mat won't stick, blah, blah, blah. Do everything at your own risk and don't whine to me, because I'm telling you what works for me But I am not telling you as a representative of the company. I'm just telling you as someone that uses the ScanNCut like every day, and I have 4 of them, and I've helped countless people set them up. It's kind of like I've had 50 of them, even though I have 4 of them. Anyway, see the lint? This is going to help you keep from ripping your paper. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take some new Designer Series paper. It's something I was able to get a pre-order of. I was able to get a special, I forget what it's called. Pre-order. Okay, I'm going to, let me just kind of go back. I'm going to this thing called On Stage next week, or November 11th. It's an event that we have. And then they let anyone go into the event purchase this new paper. So I'm going to use this first because it's new. I always like using my new stuff. We'll just cut. So it's called Heart and Home Designer Series paper. So real quickly, I'll show you Heart and Home. Isn't that cool? It has these, I don't even know if I have the paper in the right stack, but I mean, I just thought I would use that first because of this white side, right? So our paper is double-sided. And Heart and Home is something they're going to be doing these make and takes during the event with us. It's all kind of mixed up because I was using it. I really like this. I was using it as card backgrounds. So it's in my photos recently. I love this fake wood. And I just thought, oh, this is a good one because it won't, like this paper won't get little lint stuff all over my mat. So you want to start out with Designer Series paper. I'll start out with this piece here. And I'm going to put this sort of whitish side down because if it does get stuck all over my mat, it's all good. We'll do that one. And it should be fine though. Now the first time you use your paper, go like this. So go like this. You're going to put your paper on it like that. Okay. And literally do not touch it. Do not touch it. Do not rub it except for the corners. Don't do anything. Trust me on this one. Dun, dun, dun. Up in the corners. That's it. Don't go rubbing your mat like I normally talk about. Don't go using a brayer. Don't go using your bone folder and your spatulas because you're going to end up with this big hot mess where you have to wash your mat in the sink and ask me how I know. I've done it like, I don't know, 5 times that you would think I would learn my lesson. All right. Hi, Roxanne. Hi, Margaret. Hi, Denise from South Dakota. I love Mount Rushmore. Oh, I love South Dakota and all the little fossil stands you could stop at all along the road. What a cool place. Gu Zaimiya, Deborah, Nelda. Would like a catalog? Just go into my Nelda, if you like a catalog, you have to give me your address in the U.S. So you go to paperchef.stampandapp.net. It's linked in most of my videos, except of course not this one, but my website. Maybe Yvonne, if you could give her my website, that would be cool. In the paperchef.stampandapp.net, and then you ask for a catalog. Okay, let's see. Have a mat that looks like that? Okay, right. Patty said I have a mat that looks like that. Yeah, back, you got it. Oh, and yeah, so you asked questions. Okay, brother mat stickiness. How? I know, right? I would think that they'd want to improve the stickiness. Well, maybe yes and no. When I ask them about the stickiness, when I've asked them with problems about the mat, like different things, and they said, what their answer was to me, I'm just opening up my machine now. I'm pulling it closer. The answer was, oh, it's a reusable, or it's a, what's it called? A reusable item, replenishable item. It's not meant to be. We're going to do the blade holder too. Let's do that. First, let's just load the mat, and then we'll do the blade holder. Yeah, they said it's not meant to be, it's not meant to, I forget what the word is. Like, they didn't have a problem with it because it's an item that you're supposed to replace often, you know. And I'm like, not often, like every day. I mean, you know what I'm saying? Literally, like every single day I would need a new mat if I just relied on not having my two-way glue and washing it and using baby wipes. I'll give you some tips on making your mat get stickier. And I mean, granted, I use the machine a lot, but that's what the machine is for, right? The good thing is the machine works when you use it a lot. I love the machine otherwise. Other than the mats, I have very little complaints. All right, so let's get in here. Let's go in, and when you turn on your machine, we'll make a, oh, I have another update available too. Cool. You would hit that to update it, but let's not update it right now. Let's not digress. Okay, we're going to load the mat. That's this button here. And it loaded right away because it's a new mat. I just left that in view of the camera just so you could see that. See, no problems. You've seen me fight with my machine before, and I didn't have to fight with it because it's a new mat. Now let's do the blade holder. Why do I have a new blade holder? Because hubby, let's see if I can get this in there. Hubby, I said, oh, I need a new blade. And he said, which one? And I said, you'll see it in there. And he was already doing an Amazon order. So I said, you'll see. It's in my my past orders in Amazon. So what's he do? I don't know. He must have got sucked into one of those specials where you buy a blade holder and 2 blades. So next thing you know, I'm getting a blade holder and 2 blades. But at least he got the right blade holder. So kudos to him. So what I do when I get a new blade holder, and I probably needed one anyway because it's good to replace the blade holder when you replace the mat. When I take out my old one like I just did, do you see how I did that? It was in there like that. I took it out. What I do is I put a piece of tape on it. Because again, I'm not going to throw it out because when you cut glitter paper, right? And things that are going to dull your blade, or you're cutting something that doesn't require a lot of accuracy, you could put your old blade holder back in there. Oh, actually, let's compare. Let's do this. Let's compare, because I like to give you tips and tricks here. My new blade with my old blade. You can see how wonky it is at the top? Let's put this piece of tape here so I remember this is my old blade holder, okay? But I also want to show you the new blade versus the old blade holder. And be careful, these are very sharp. So now, let's open up the blade holder. It's so nice to have little nice new things. When I do my next videos, you're going to see such accuracy. All right, so this is the little protection. You got to take that off. And now, you would think that when they sell the blade holder, you would think that it would come with a blade. And I did tell my husband about that. I said, I got the holder, but of course you got me a holder and 2 blades. That's fine. It's cool, but they don't come with a blade. So you might get an auto blade holder and wonder why you don't have a blade, because you have to buy the blade separately. So you want to make sure that you get this. Although they do make, I think I've got some before that were like German carbide, whatever they're called. German steel or something. Anyway, they have, like, how Germans make really good knives, and they have really good sharp things. So they make really good blades too. And there is you can get generic brands that say they fit in a DX, and I've used them before. So I'm taking out the blade, okay, little case. You could put your old blade back in this case too, but if you're gonna do that, also put, save this little rubber thing. And if you're gonna just throw away your blade, that's fine, but save this little thing, because you want to, you don't want to put it in the trash can where, let me focus my camera here. I see my camera's trying to focus on all kinds of things. But anyway, you save that little thing. What I'm trying to do now is show you the new blade versus the old blade. It looks like I have a different, this doesn't even look like the right blade. Huh. Wonder what, that's weird. Maybe, oh, you know what? This might be, I wonder if that's like my deep cut blade or something. Interesting. Interesting. So this one's so dull, I'm actually able to touch the top. But this looks like the deep cut blade because it's at a different angle. Yeah, this must be, and that's okay, because I have a deep cut blade, and I have a deep cut blade that I put in there. All right, so let's just drop this new blade in. This should be fine. I just dropped it in, okay? So I don't know why my camera's not focusing, but that's what happens when you drop your blade in. There's a little magnetic chamber there, and it grabs it. So let me do that again. See how the magnet grabbed it? This is magnetic, and it went whoop, and it just grabbed it right in there. Okay? So I can't really compare that to my deep cut blade right now because that's comparing apples and oranges, but you could just see that that's a brand new blade, and there's no dullness on the top, and it didn't get blunt on the top. Okay, so now I have other videos on how to take your, I'm just putting this lid back on now. Okay, screwing it in. I have other videos on how to clean the blade holder. I have videos on how to clean this machine with the magic eraser. I have videos on how to clean the scanning plate, how to restick your mat, and all kinds of maintenance videos. So let's get rid of that and save this. So there's other things you could do to your machine when you're tuning it up. All right, let's cut now. Let's go ahead and cut. We'll go ahead and cut some card bases. Just something I'm always cutting. Because the pattern is a little flower, I just went into, when you turn on your machine, you see pattern and scan. I'm going to see pattern, scan. I'm going to click pattern. Because I have a little flower here. There we go. That's what happened. My tripod wasn't standing up. It was like literally teetering on its edge. No wonder I had such a weird angle. Anyway, you're going to go to the patterns and you're going to select, we want a rectangle, but we're just going to select a square. And we'll take this button here and we'll change the proportion so that it stays, so that we could change the height and the width in proportion to each other. So I want a rectangle that's 4 inches wide. I'm sorry, 4 inches wide over here. 4 inches wide, but 5¼ inch high. This is just your typical A2 card layer for your card. Okay, you're going to be able to fit 4 of those on a mat and also be able to put some other stuff on that mat. Okay, so I'll get 4 of those shapes that are 5¼ by 4, and then it's saying not enough space on the mat. What happened there? Let's change my pattern interval. Oh, I know why. Because the angle that they're at, that's okay. But let's say pattern interval is, nope, that's as small as it goes. It's trying to put them in, I know why. Cutting area. See, get another tip and trick. Let's go like this and change my cutting area was set for an 8½ by 11 piece of paper. If my cutting area is 12 by 12, you see how I changed the cutting area? That was also in the settings, cutting area. You can't really go 12 by 12. You can only really go like, I'm just going to object edit and kind of add a couple of those. Oops, I didn't mean to add 3. Did I add 3? I think I only meant to add. No, that's right. I want 4 of these on the bottom line is I want 4 card layers on here. And when your cutting area was set to be 8½ by 11, it would have only fit 2 of those. But now that I set it to, see, I think I set it to have 4 of those. All right, so now we're just going to use auto layout. So get this, I'm just selecting everything and sort of laying it out. This part really doesn't matter because I teach this in other videos, but this is just for me just trying to cut these. Oops. Auto layout. Oh wait, we'll get the auto layout. We have to get to this point. There's the auto layout. What I'm doing is I'm just letting the machine figure out the best way to lay those out. Oh no, I didn't want to do that. So now I have to go back. This is cool because you'll get to learn something. I need to go ahead and delete all those. All right. So it was important because the pattern of my paper, it was important for me to have these going in a vertical fashion, right? So I want these vertical. So when I say auto layout, watch what happens when I do auto layout. I want them to stay vertical. So when you go here to do auto layout, do not select the first option because what it's going to do is it's going to make your rectangles go every which way to fit them the best way it thinks. I need them to stay oriented all up and down. So I want the second or third option because I don't want my rectangles to rotate. Let's just use even the third option here. We want them to all stay facing up. So we want the auto layout to have my card mats facing up. Okay, we'll do more on auto layout in other videos, but I was just trying to show how my new blade and my new mat cuts. That's all I was trying to show. All right, so it's just, we're just trying out my new mat. That's all. I want to show you its stickiness and you know, that kind of thing. But I kind of get caught up in the auto layout because I was like, wait a minute, oh, good. Thank you for telling me the word consumable, Donna Joe. That's exactly the word that they used. You must be calling brother too. I called brother and I was like, why aren't your mats very sticky? I used them once. This was years ago when I got my machine. Used the mat once, it wouldn't stick anymore. They're like, well, it's meant to be a consumable. I'm like, a consumable? Like every day I need a $27 mat. At the time I was getting them for like $15, $20. But now they've gone up way in price. Different mats, different times I get different sales. But I used to tell people when I saw a sale on the mats. Yes, Deborah, my mats are well used. So you have a mat that looks like that. It's a backup. Yes, mat. That's what I was saving. That's the word Patty, I was thinking that too. Use your mat as, like, save your other ones as a backup so that you at least have a mat. All right. Long time since she caught me live, Pamela's saying from Colorado. She resticks the mats, right, over and over. So that's, you're going to use two-way glue to restick your mat. Yeah, Katie's saying, yes, Cricut mats last forever compared to Brother. So I love my Cricut, but it doesn't do what this does. So people ask me all the time, I probably need to do a video sometime comparing my Cricut and, you know, to the Brother. Because it doesn't do what this Brother does. Brother does so much more than a Cricut, but the Cricut does, one thing it does is good. Now look at that. Just see this? Look how easy it is to come off. See that? Look at that. First use to the mat. You saw me take it out of the package. Is that brilliant? Look at that. Oh, I didn't have to do anything. Look, I'm not going to have to scrape and cry and put it in the sink. I barely had to touch it. Look at that. How nice, right? You bend the mat a little bit to take stuff off, or you use your little spatula. Isn't that wonderful? That's what I wanted to show you. Wonderful. And look, even my nice side, I put the white side down. That didn't stick either. And let me tilt it again. This one's a little bit, and I didn't even touch it to the, there you go. Let's tilt it. Your mat is now conditioned. I would do this a few more times before I would start to cut with my basic white or my Stampin' Up! Cardstock. I would do this a few more times. Like, keep conditioning your mat. Cut out a few more layers. And you can also, I mean, you don't just want to cut like this. I would have cut some more shapes in here. Like, one thing I do a lot is these little rectangles for one of my layouts. I would have used up the whole paper and cut a bunch of shapes while I was at it. But one thing I'm always cutting is card bases. So I'm going to cut out the rest. Like, when I get new paper, I tend to take, okay, for example, this paper. And I don't know if I told you the coordinating colors. I know some of you guys like sneak peeks, so that's why I brought out this paper. It is called Heart and Home, Basic Gray, Cinnamon Cider, Fresh Freesia, Garden Green, Misty Moonlight, Pale Papaya, and White. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut up all my paper. When I get paper, I like to cut it all up. It's easier to store. But what I like to do is save these. I'm going to save one of each of these for my photography backgrounds. These are fantastic photography backgrounds. Like, I mean, because I try to do photography on white sometimes, but then when things are white, it just needs better contrast. So I'm going to save one of each, and I'm going to sit right now and get all the shapes I need and just chop this up. Only leaving myself some little scraps for die cutting. So that's what I'm about to do. I'm going to save some, cut the rest of the pack up. All right, so I'll be doing that again. Just let me grab, like, here. I'm going to grab this other piece here, and I'll show you the stamp set that's here. And the reason I'm putting this side up, see, I'm going to do that again here. Just touch it. I'm going to show you how to save this little layout too. So I'm going to, you see I'm just touching the tops now, and that's it, and I'll do the bottom. But I don't really want to touch it too much. Just a little bit here. Just a little rub. Now later you can use your Brother brayer. They have these brayers that you can use. All right, so now, for some reason my camera has lost its ability to autofocus, so I have to move my tripod around. All right, well, we're going to just add to it. So go back and add to it this little pattern that I use all the time for my layouts, and it's going to be a, let's see, 1 point. These are just things I just memorized, but I do have them on my blog. I do try to type up measurements. One of the layouts I do a lot is I put a little piece of basic white on the card, and then I put a couple pieces of DSP. So this is 1.75 by 3.75. I used it on the World Card Making Day, and I use this layout a lot. So these are little rectangles. It don't really matter which way they go because you can use the other side of the paper. So let's see if I can get 4 of them on there. Nope, it's telling me maybe I can't put 4. It's saying not enough space on the mat. Oh. I know why. I have to make the width 1.75. And the height has to be higher because of the, I don't want those other rectangles turning around. 3 point. See, you're getting to see me troubleshoot. But once I get this, I'm going to save it. I'm going to show you how to save this. 3.75. Oops. I like the beeping sound. It might be annoying, the beeps, but it lets me know that I'm actually doing something. I don't know. I like the beeping sounds. All right, 1.75. Let's see if I can add 2 of those. Okay, good. I can probably even add another 2. Let's see. Edit, object edit, maybe 3. Let's see. Yep, I think it'll, it won't really put in, oh, maybe, I can add some more. Let's add some more. 3. I can't remember because I need to save this template again. Let's see if I can't do the auto layout. All right, select all. Actually, here, go to the auto layout. You don't have to select all. This is the auto layout. Let it lay them out. So remember, if I were to touch this first one in my auto layout, they're going to start turning different ways. I do not want them to orient different ways because, well, in this case, I don't care because of the paper I'm cutting is little bumblebees. But when I cared about this paper, I wanted it to cut vertically because of the way the pattern was. I just want to make the vertical card because it's so busy. This is busy to me. It might not be busy to you. I'm not really a flower person, so I'm going to put them vertical and put like a big thing in the middle of it. Okay, so I made them this oriented this way, but it really wouldn't matter. But anyway, I want them to stay this way. So I'm going to use this one, which is take all your shapes and move them upside down or right side up, and it'll lay them out for you. Or you can choose the last option, which is going to turn them all straight. Now they're rectangles, so this option and this option are going to give you the same result because they're rectangles. If they were triangles, like in the picture, they would give you different results. But in this case, I just want them all to stay oriented up. And now it's saying there's not enough space on the mat. What is, oh, probably I did, you know what? I think I did make one extra. I might have to go back and edit. I think I probably have. It's not probably going to let me do this. Let's see, 1. Yeah, it's probably not going to let me do it because you know what? Okay, we'll just go ahead and delete them. It's not giving me, there's not enough space to do that. But if I was using Canvas Workspace, I could have got them a little closer together. Let's just see if it lets me do that. I think they're not overlapping. There we go. It lets me do 3, but it isn't going to let me do the ones over there. Even though I see a big space there. It's just not going to let me because it's saying there's not enough space on the mat. All right, let's do this. Let's go ahead and save this template. We're going to go and save it. And you want to save it to your machine, to Canvas Workspace. This is going to go into your online web-based version. I've done videos about what happens there when we go back and forth between, we've done some round-trip editing. We can take the stuff here and save it to your machine, but I mean your account. Or you could save it to your USB stick. I'm just going to go and save it to my machine. And it's saying there's not enough room, yada, yada, yada. Story of my life. Let's see. We'll get rid of this template here. Just to get, so it's saying there's not enough room because I always have a lot of stuff on my machine. So anyway, save it to your machine. You probably don't have a full machine. Save it, and now I'm going to go ahead and cut it while I'm saying hi to you guys, and then I'm going to cut it, and I'm going to show you how to retrieve it so that now you can make your little card. So I'm going to probably do this to a whole pack of paper, not a whole pack, a half a pack of paper right now. Because once you have these, you can do other things too. You can die cut, like say you have a die cut frame that you want to cut the inside out of, you'll still have the outside of your card base. You could do so much with this. You can use this side for backgrounds. You can color this paper. There's so much you can do once you cut it up. And I'll go ahead and get another pack when I'm allowed to pre-order November 11th. Because November 11th, they're probably going to let me pre-order this. When you attend the on-stage events, they let us buy products early. So I only have 1 pack for now. But, you know, hey, it is what it is. All right. Just going to say hi. All right. So Craft with Love 55. She purchased a ScanNCut from the Facebook Market. The person was supposed to help you with it, but my phone got stolen and it had all her contact information. Oh. If you get back into your, like if you were able to get back into your old account, the contact information should have been in with the your old messages. I wonder why you can't get your old messages back. But anyway, I'm here to help, and we also have a ScanNCut user group that you can go to. So, hello, Diana. I'm glad you guys like the paper. Actually, you guys seem to like the paper more than I do. Rosemary Adams. I'm not even into flowers so much, but I love coordination. So you know what it is? It's like this paper is going to coordinate with my other colors, and that's why I'm excited about new paper. Plus, I just like new things. Hi, Terry. So yeah, let's see, deep cut blade. Yeah, I was able to put the deep cut blade in that holder. I don't know if it's made for that or I was doing something with it. Sometimes I do things and it's not really made for it, but I have to do it because of what I was cutting. Anyway, you always do test cuts. You know, if you're not sure how something's going to cut, do some test cuts. Okay, so Pamela's going to finish watching later. Nancy Joe, Nancy Joe, you probably didn't miss anything. I was just showing you what to do with a new mat. You probably did. I mean, if you want to condition your mat, then go back and watch that. All right, sorry. So that's how easy it was for the paper to come off. Okay, I'm probably going to cut. If it doesn't let me, this should fit there. See, look, it should fit. The problem is I might not be able to fit it because it thinks I'm too close to the edge of the mat. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to slightly adjust my shapes. I'm either going to manually push them over. I'm going to try to get 3 more of these in there, or I'm just going to use a different shape. But I'm not going to waste this, or I can use these as belly bands. Keep them 12 inches and use them as belly bands. But either way, I'm cutting them apart. I'm cutting this off of that because I don't want to have all these scraps, these long scraps. I'm going to cut them into belly bands and just get rid of them. Maybe Hershey nugget wrappers. That's probably what I'll do. I'll probably make some Hershey nugget wrappers. And no matter what they do for that event, I'm going to have enough paper to follow along with that, what's it called, the make-and takes, because I have big pieces here, big chunks, and I still have those other 6 pieces that I could follow along with the make-and take. So anyway, so now you have this template. And one thing that I want to recommend too, so I'm talking about mats and tips and tricks here, is you have these lines that are starting to cut on your template. See that? See the lines? Okay, I'm going to go ahead and cut a pack, maybe 6 pieces of this paper. After that, it's very important to do what I'm going to show you. In fact, you can even do it now. First, let's retrieve the template, then I'll show you what we can do about it. Okay, we've talked about saving the template. Let's make sure we've saved it, right? I'm just going to make sure I save it. I'm going to overwrite it. So we have a template. The next day you come along and you want to retrieve your template. So let's just go home. Okay. You turn on your machine and you see pattern and scan. Let me turn that so you can see it better. And you want to get your template that you just made with all your card bases on it, or your card layers. So retrieve data, and you're going to retrieve it from where? Your machine. Even though you could have saved it to your USB stick, your computer via cable, the USB cable, you could retrieve it from your account online. I'm just going to retrieve it from my machine. Because you know what? I like using my machine without having to be connected. There's my template. There it is. I can add to it. I can resave it. So there's my template. So now I want to show you something. So we have our template, and I could add, I just said I think I'm going to add some Hershey nugget wrappers. They would be really cute for this spring. So we'll make those 1 inch wide, by 3 1/4. I think I just did this in the last video, one of my videos recently. We were just making little Hershey boxes. I think it was my last video when I did my giving gifts workshop. So I was showing you how to make these with your trimmer. I'm always making wrappers, so let's just make some extra Hershey nugget wrappers. I don't know how many, just, oops, 3. It's saying 3 will fit. So now I have some Hershey nugget wrappers. I can save my template, resave it, overwrite. Overwrite, wait, I think I said overwrite. Huh, that's weird. It's telling me I can't overwrite my file. That's so strange because it's the same file. I shouldn't have a new file number. All right, I think I'm done with those tips and tricks. But for some reason, it's like when I go to save it, it's telling me not enough. That's so weird. I'm not even using a new file, but I'm going to go ahead and delete something anyway because I have a lot that I'm not using anymore. I'm trying to overwrite the same file. Oops, I don't want to delete that one. All right, it should let me now save it. All right, overwrite. Now, what I want to show you is this. This is another tip and trick and then I'm just going to show you the rest of that new suite I just got, and then I want to wrap things up. Okay, so you have cut, say, 6 of these. Okay, picture this, you've cut 6 of these, and now you're like, now your mat is starting to get really indented into that. See, here, let me hold this up so I don't have to, see those lines? I hope you can see the line. So you're like, oh my goodness, I'm gonna ruin my mat if I just keep on like gouging into the same spot. So what you're gonna do is this, you're gonna go into the edit mode, and you're gonna use this button, select all, right? Select all, this is the selection, the 3 little squares, but you're gonna use the select all. This is the select all, okay? And you're gonna, everything is red, and you're gonna go in here, and you're gonna go in and you're going to group them, okay? And looks a little different on the CX. Don't weld them, group them. This is the group with the shapes, with the square around it. It looks a little different in the SDX, on the CM machine, sorry. This is the SDX. In the CM machines, you're gonna group them, and then you're gonna go and you're going to, okay, click OK. You're gonna go to this one with the 4 arrows, right? And you're gonna nudge it. So I would do about 10 pixels. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And it might not be a pixel, so don't quote me. It's not an actual pixel, but I'm saying nudge it over. So now, and then, cut 10 more or cut 6 more. Say you're doing a craft fair and you're cutting loads of these. Okay? So let me just go ahead and unload my mat. And what that'll do is, just to give you that tip, so you've nudged it over, and now, you're not going to keep getting, now where are the lines? I just told you you're going to get lines. Here they are. Okay, I got the better angle now. See this? You're not going to keep getting these lines gouging into your brand new mat. See, it's already raising the mat. This is going to cause problems when you're trying to cut. It's going to do jumping and skipping and ripping your paper and stuff if you keep gouging into the same spot. So every once in a while, after you cut, say 6 or so, group everything, nudge it over by 10, save it again, and then, cut it in a little bit slightly different spot. So you're not getting these lines in the same spot of your mat. So I hope all those tips and tricks helped you. So the other things you want to do is you want to get your baby wipes. I'm gonna be cleaning with the baby wipes and the magic eraser. You can clean if you use lint-free baby wipes, you can clean your surface with baby wipes when you're done. You can wash your mat. Soapy water, Dawn dish detergent. I use soapy water. Clean your mat off. If you get a lot of paper stuck to it, if you didn't listen to what I said and you didn't hear my video and you used Whisper White or Basic White cardstock on your mat, you would have had an entire hot mess of lint and gook stuck all over your mat that you're going to have to literally scrape off. So you're going to use warm water, Dawn dish detergent, and you're going to, get in there and you're going to have to wash your mat. But if you don't have if you just have a little lint on it, you're good to go. Now I'm ready though. It's all conditioned. I've cut a few pieces of designer series paper, and now I'm ready to use the cardstock on my mat that has lots of fibers in it. Now, don't use white first before you use black. Black has too many fibers, and you're going to end up with stuff all over the place if you use black. So I'm going to clean my rollers with the baby wipe. I'm going to clean the machine, but I'm going to get in there with that cookie part, this gray part up here, and I'm going to use my magic eraser to clean that part. I also taught about how to sharpen your blade holder. All right, where's the rest? I'm ending. I got to find my cute little sneak peeks here for you. I pulled them out. It is called, here, Blessings of the, whatever that was called, Heart and Home. Here's a new stamp set coming out that we were allowed to pre-order. It's going to be cool for coloring. It's called Blessing. Yeah, see, it's a cling stamp set, so it has lots of etching on it. So we're going to be doing make and take soon in this event in November, and I'll show you what my make and takes look like and how I'll follow along with the presentation and make whatever they're showing, and I'll have some samples to show you. And before then, I'm going to make my own samples here. What a beautiful day for love. We can get through anything together. Have a perfect birthday. You are a real blessing to everyone around you. Thank you for inspiring us. I think I'll be using, or inspiring me. I think I'm going to be using that one a lot. Okay, here are the dies. Lots of details on Flowers of Home dies. So you get the 2 dies that cut out the stamps, these 2, and then you got some really intricate dies. Okay, here are the little thingies that we were able to pre-order. Little classic dots. I colored some when I was doing this, when I unboxed this for my team. I took my crumb cake marker, and you can see that you can color these I just use my Crumb Cake Blends marker, and you can color the dots. And this denim ribbon. And I'm thinking this denim ribbon is the same denim ribbon we had a couple years ago with the Dynavore suite. That's what I'm thinking. It doesn't look different to me, but maybe someone can say if it's the same. I don't know what happened to my old denim ribbon. Probably used it all. But it looks like it's a comeback item. So anyway, that's the new suite of products. That's our new collection, I should say. All right, so no, we're not going to any cities, Donna. This is virtual because of, it's a virtual event. On stage used to be in a city, but now it's virtual, so that's what I'm doing from. Yeah, I like the sentiment font. I like how you have in the sentiment font like a big, bold, like this, easy to read. So you can just read beautiful day or together or thank you. The rest doesn't even matter because you can just, I like when you can just read that. This is going to be fun to color, and I'm probably going to use it for the event and then, offer it as a prize, honestly, because I have too many flowers, or I think I'm going to have a bingo BOGO type thing, next month, because I'm going to downsize the stamp sets. All right, Anne has sound. You guys were talking about sound. I missed that. I missed about the sound. I was missing all those comments. But thank you all for coming. Hello, Michelle. Sorry you guys missed the sound. Probably because my tripod was all, it literally was teetering the whole time, at an angle. And then I went and flipped it up onto the ground. And then maybe the sound went back on. Anyway, thanks you all for watching. This is the Paper Chef. I'm going to keep on cutting. And I hope you have a great day. Bye-bye.